The subject of dark nature is one of the most important, I think, for people, human beings. Buddhism tends to start at the end and work back. So the subject of bardo is about what happens when a person dies. And there's a whole series of things that are inherently shocking, which come about from the collapse of your reality and what you perceive at that point is going to be dark nature. Basically, people will do anything to avoid looking at themselves. They will blame, deny, deflect, but they will never really grasp that they're just talking about themselves. So I have a meditation. It's in one of the other videos. And it's a very simple meditation. In fact, you just picture, or you close your eyes, you relax, feel a slightly dreamy nature, and you picture a crow. So what happens with this meditation? Obviously, it's very, very simple. And what happens with this meditation and many meditations is that people will change slightly. And somehow, in teaching the meditation, I have to adjust to what people will say. So even though it's different, and it's quite difficult to push in the direction that I might want it to go, because it just may not go there. So often the meditation has to go the way the person is taking it, and then maybe another step in the right direction is taken from that. So I taught this crow meditation to someone, and she pictured the crow. She's good at meditating, good at visualization, and she said the crow flew away. So, being slightly nosy, I pushed a bit more and said, well, how do you feel? And she said, it seemed as though the crow wasn't interested. So this is a dark nature meditation. The idea is that you can connect with this dark nature before you die and your whole reality collapses. But you can imagine all sorts of things happen to us, and our reality will collapse. Say a car crash is a very good example. People very rarely recover well from a serious car crash. It always stays there. So, in her meditation, and when she says to me, the crow wasn't interested, the thing is, she has imagined the crow. It is an imaginary crow. So it is her that is not interested. There is no crow. But this thing with this dark nature, that it shows you, it reflects you. And it makes it a very difficult practice. I didn't tell her what the practice was before I told her the meditation. You have then this very simple visualization, but a very complex psychology. A very complex psychology to work around. There is a second part to the meditation, and I haven't tried it on anybody yet, because it's really very creepy. But in order to continue to practice connecting with dark nature, you need the second part of the meditation. And it goes like this. The second part would be, you picture no crow. This might seem odd. So you picture a crow, then you consider that you can't see the crow, but the crow is still there, which is where it's kind of creepy. It means that there you are, visualizing all this black, and you consider that there is something present in the black. So anyway, I haven't tried that on anyone yet. But if you want to continue with the practice of either bardo or its dark nature, then that would be how you practice it. It's difficult for me to use the term dark matter, because although that is what attracts people, if you look at all the Marvel movies and astrologists wanting to talk about dark matter, but in referring to the dark nature as dark matter, it objectifies it. And here is the problem as well. Human nature is to objectify things, which means it's separate from us. Whereas dark nature, or dark matter in this instance, is in no way separate from us. But this attempt to separate it is just some weird psychological trick. It's like saying that, other Kevin did something. It wasn't me, it was other Kevin. When considering this, do not objectify it. It can be actually seen. But for people who haven't really any skill at visualization, when you see something in your mind, there is no background. You only see what you're thinking of. So in this case, if you picture a crow, you see the crow. It can be black behind, but there's no real background. There's kind of space. Or if you were to picture a ball, you see a ball. You don't see, again, anything else there. If I describe to you that dark nature permeates consciousness, perhaps one would struggle to intellectualize that. But it's not, it's an image from my mind. The consciousness is kind of golden-ish particulates, and the dark nature is made of a finer substance that permeates the consciousness. And so as a picture in the mind, it doesn't have any background to it. It's just there. It's what you perceive. I suppose mostly people just have no idea that this dark nature or dark matter exists in the consciousness. This isn't a thought or idea that's ever going to occur to them. The other outcome of the dark nature being in the consciousness is that the mind often twists it towards something bad. So probably people would, if asked, define dark nature as people doing something relating to their dark side. But this isn't the case here, because the dark side is created by the mind, and it doesn't inherently exist. The dark nature exists, and the mind exists, but the bad, well, it just disappears, so it has no inherent existence. For example, you could take a person or people who, I don't know, worship the devil or something satanic, but it's them who have imagined this devil or satanic being from their own imagination, and it doesn't exist. Of course, they might do plenty of bad things, but that is the nature of people. So the dark nature is very difficult to describe what it is, other than it has a physical existence. Whether it's sentient or not, I couldn't really tell you. It does seem to have a purpose. And I would say that its purpose is to be used by the mind for something good, to change what is bad into something good. In fact, it's incredibly powerful for doing that.